The great Swami Vivekananda once said, there is only one difference between dream and aim. Dream requires effortless sleep and aim requires sleepless efforts. Sleep for dreams and wake up for aims. So dear listeners, don't waste your effort and aim. Well, let's hear what Dr. GUNAMANI Singh OINAM, Senior Research Scientist, have to say on the first part of the topic, a career in biotechnology in Canada. And our interviewer is KAKCHINGTABAM RITESH Sharma. With the rise of unemployment, it's a great opportunity for us to interact with someone who have explored more than us and who have seen beyond our state. We are fortunate enough to interact with him. It's a great opportunity. So before we go ahead, before we get to know more about you, a brief introduction about yourself would be nice.
Myself, GUNAMANI Singh OINAM, and my father's name is OINAM Borjao Singh. My mother's name is OINAM Ongbi Thambaljanma Devi. Born in Atopam, Kuno, Tawal. Brought up there, and then I did my schoolings from the local schools. That is government schools, okay? And then I did my class 10 from SHARMA Higher Secondary School, Tawal. Later, I moved to that Tawal College to complete my class 12. And after that, I was selected from the Manipur State Agriculture Department as a nominee for bachelor's program in agriculture at Manipur Agriculture College, Iroisemba.
Okay.
And I completed that degree program. That was a 4-year degree program.
Okay.
And then later on, I moved to Himachal Pradesh Agriculture University to complete my master's program, specialized in plant breeding and genetics. Then after completion of my master's program, I joined in a biotech lab in University of Rajasthan, Jaipur. And then during the time, I was offered senior research fellowship from CSIR during that my tenure of PhD. And then I completed my PhD after 4 years, maybe 1995. Then I joined this National Research Center on Plant Biotechnology located in Indian Agricultural Research Institute, IRI, that is known as IRI, Pusa, New Delhi.
Okay.
And during that time, I was working as a postdoctoral fellow, sponsored by the Department of Biotechnology under the program of postdoctoral program. And we were only selected during that time per year about 3 or 4. And then we joined there.
So the number of students were less.
Yeah, and then I was working on rice.
Okay.
And this master's program also on rice. That was a hybrid program, hybrid rice program. Then PhD also on rice, cell in the tissue culture, okay? And then during this period of my postdoctoral tenure, I did on that rice biotechnology in different areas. So one of the most interesting was that BT rice. So we developed few BT lines, but the expression level of that BT protein was not that much high, but that was a very good achievement for that kind of facility. And then during that short period of time. And then during that postdoctoral tenure, I was again selected as a trainee in Germany, sponsored by Germany, government of Germany.
Okay.
That was on advanced biotechnology. I spent there for about 4 months, and we learned so many biotechnology, different tools.
In Germany.
And then I came back, and then I resumed my research program in that rice biotechnology in the same institute.
Okay.
And then I completed this tenure there, and then I was selected as a manager in a biotech company based in Hyderabad. And then I went there to join that company to manage, to run that, to establish that biotech company. and that will be on BT cotton. But that will be, I hope so, that's my interest, to go into that kind of private sector, okay? And then later on, they said that, okay, so let's have a collaboration with one lab in Delhi University South Campus, and where I have to continue this BT cotton. That was my interest. Instead of managing that lab there and establishing a lab, then I came back to Delhi University South Campus, and we started that BT cotton program.
Right.
And then we started synthesizing this BT gene, and then we tried to introduce that BT gene into the one specific cultivar that originated from USA. That's the only responsible for this kind of culture works.
Organization.
This kind of, that kind of variety, That's why we were using that variety from USA, and we already established that kind of regeneration system, because the regeneration system from a single cell to the whole complete plant system is a very, very difficult and long,
complex
process, So once we have that protocol, then we can integrate whatever gene of interest, So our gene of interest was that BT gene, and we synthesized that BT gene, and I developed that regeneration system also, in that cotton. So that was a very short period of time for me, because I have to go to Canada, because during that time I got that immigration offer letter from Canadian embassy.
Did you apply for that?
Yeah, I applied during that my postdoctoral program at AIRIMPHAL, that National Research Center of Applied Biotechnology. That's why I wanted to linger around, in that Delhi instead of Hyderabad.
And you come from a very modest background. A very decent background, and you achieved so much of, I think, accomplishment. You achieved so much of experience, knowledge. And how do you manage that? What motivates you to, to go through such kind of things, so much of research, and then going from here to Hyderabad and to Simla, and then again to Canada? So what kind of energy drives you?
That's a very interesting question. Actually, from the very beginning, I wanted to be a very different, not like just being this engineer or doctor or even a scientist also, just a simple scientist. So I wanted to be very different. So that's why I was always thinking about that, how to go into this kind of different field. That's why I searched a lot from the literature, and then during that time there was a education department probably near Dame College of Science, the counselor, so they have a very good book on that director of universities, so they offer different subject and all these things. So just after class 12 also, so I was very much aware of that kind of information, and I used to go in that counselor very often, and he knows me also during the time. And this is how I searched a lot. And then just after completion of my class 12 also, just I sent a telegram to George Bacterial Institute at Gindi, Madras. And then they replied to me also. So they said that, no, this will be after MBBS course. You can take this course. That is what I got, that a reply from that King George Bacterial Institute. Still I remember.
Which means you were able to achieve that.
Yeah, exactly. So that was awareness, alertness.
Right.
So that was just after class 12. So this is how I was looking and searching, Then after this, my master's program and BSc program was a very traditional agriculture subject. That was not my interest. Then just I moved to that different field. That was in very early 1990. Just I started my PhD. That time was very, very emerging. Very cutting edge science. In science, this biotechnology. So during that time, the cell culture, protoplasm culture is, you will find a very few literature paper in the literature. So this is how I started, and then I try to contact with the lab where they're pursuing this kind of work. So that's why I always very lucky, to get that kind of labs. So then NRCPB RISE program was very highly, funded lab. That time Rockefeller Fellowship that my boss was getting during the time. So lots of money. And then after I moved to that Delhi University South Campus, that lab was excellent lab. So that was my lucky part. So that's helped me to achieve this, whatever I wanted. And then I published a lot of papers. And then when I moved to Canada again, there is no any constraints. Whatever I want, any new ideas, they always listen and ready to listen also. Okay. So that was the main factor to achieve all these things. But I brought up from a very, very poor family background, and then 9 kids in a family. It was a very tough. Besides that, if you have a will and if you have a courage and if you have a target, so these things you can achieve. So that is what I believe.
I think when I see you, I even get inspired as well, because of your enthusiasm and on hard work. You were able to achieve something in the level of MBBS when you were only 12 standard. So your interest was so much in there, and you researched a lot, and I think success was after you. You were not after success, but success was after you.
Yeah.
So seeing the scenario of our state, how the culture of education work, how the students pursue careers and all, what do you say about this and what do you see right now? What's the scenario?
That's a very interesting also, that kind of question, because this is the current issue. I should say this is an issue, okay? These parents, they are having a lot of pressure, and then these kids, they have a lot of pressure from these parents. And, getting 90%, 93% and 100% doesn't make any sense, okay?
Right.
So in our system in Canada, okay, to get into the university, that's a requirement, of course.
Right.
So, say suppose higher percentage of marks scoring and all these things, if you can get it, that's good. But besides that, you have to know so many other, personal skills, okay? Like organization. This is much lacking in this our state and in this our country also. Organization, time management, and then that objective and the aim, okay? So the kids has to have a very focus, okay? I want it to be this one. And then to get into that scoring, that mark is important. But besides that, you have to know all other areas also.
Until and unless you have the courage to fulfill your dreams, you never will. Well, that's the first part of the interview, a career in biotechnology in Canada with Dr. GUNAMANI Singh, OINAM, Senior Research Scientist, and our interviewer was KAKCHINGTABAM RITESH Sharma. Well, that's the first part. We will be back again for the second part again. Until then, take care.